So I told everyone here, bigger. It's a giant game. The University of Miami against Mississippi. Make it all sound and be and feel bigger. Get me guests that make it bigger. And they're like, how about Tig Notaro? She's from Mississippi. And I'm like, okay, that's a start. Mississippi has not been talked enough about here, and she's famously not pop culture savvy about some things that other people care about. So I'm guessing she doesn't know who we are. She would have no reason to, but I am a big fan of her as a best-selling author, a director, a comedian, an inspiration. And my wife is an even bigger fan because she says, this is the most badass woman there's ever been. She got breast cancer. She got a double mastectomy, and then she did a show topless after that, and Bo Burnham was inspired by it, as were many people. So anyway, Tig, big fan, and thank you for being on with us. But do you know anything about sports? Are you proud to be from Mississippi?
I don't follow sports, but everybody in my house does. My wife, my father-in-law, my sons, my 3 cats, everyone but me.
Said it's so
So
sad.
you're lonely? So you're just like, is there anyone rooting for Mississippi? Can you tell us anything about Mississippi that would give me the kind of expertise I would need on game day to properly cover this game with Tig Notaro?
It's today?
Okay.
Perfect.
So, okay, thank you guys. I'm pleased that you got me from someone from Mississippi. So I guess I should just segue into talking.
You should have called my cousins. My one cousin Donald, he's Ole Miss, and my cousin Jimmy is LSU. So I know that doesn't. I know LSU is not Mississippi, but
there's a
I'm
connection.
just telling you.
There's a connection because the head coach of Ole Miss left to go to LSU. So
are we going to explain this to her? Because
yeah,
I don't think she's particularly
Why don't
interested
you call both
in
of them up?
I want her cousins to be on and start arguing about
whether he was right or wrong to leave LSU or to leave Mississippi for LSU. Do you know this whole story? This whole soap opera?
Okay, I do know it's happening only because I was in the room when my family was talking about it, but I was also on my way to the airport. So I have not followed up to see what's going on, or maybe you guys can tell me. I'm dying to know.
You mentioned going to the airport.
I don't think she is dying.
I know.
I think she wants to talk about her tour. I don't think she
I
wants to
ask
talk
you a
about
question.
Mississippi football.
She's a stand-up comedian. She travels a lot. We had the guest who was on right before you said he was on his flight, and the guy across the aisle had his shoes off, no socks, his bare feet, and then they were sitting bulkhead, feet against the bulkhead.
And bad feet, like talons, like talons for feet, rotten toenails.
And so, Tig, I ask you, would you have said something? Because the guest that we had on, he's a big coward. He's a big coward and a fraud and a sucker. So he didn't say anything. He just sat there and he frowned. Would you say something?
Here's the thing: is I feel like things have gotten a bit tense in the air these days. So I might slip a note to the flight attendant and be like, "Could you have this guy slip some sort of something over these talons?"
That's good. That's good work by her, but also putting the flight attendant in jeopardy now, making the flight attendant do their job.
Well,
yes.
Dan, if you listen to the pilot at the beginning, he always says, "These are my officers. You listen to them, you obey them as they obey me," or whatever.
Please
so
keep
I'm
your
like,
shoes on.
yo, so I kind of feel like that's the way to do it. Now, a sucker and a fraud and a coward would just make faces and watch
and
Sopranos
then complain the next day on the show instead of doing anything about it. So you're saying he's a coward for not saying anything.
And a sucker and a fraud.
He could have brought like a clothespin to put on his nose. That's something to travel with and sit there.
And it sends the message.
It really sends the message. Yeah.
Tig, how do you feel these days about the grind of touring? Obviously, you must love the creativity, the performance, all the great things that the business provides. How about the touring of it, though?
Well, I've actually been on a 2.5-year break. I've been filming this new Star Trek series that actually premieres next week. It's starring Holly Hunter, and Paul Giamatti is the bad guy. And so I've been in Toronto filming, and I've been doing my podcast, the Handsome Podcast. So I've only been doing a few dates here and there. So when I go to Florida next week, that's going to be the very beginning of my touring in a few years.
So she's
and I'm looking to getting back.
So she's coming to the Parker Playhouse. I should have said this off the top. In Fort Lauderdale, January 14th. If you want tickets, tignation.com for full tour dates and tickets. Can you walk us through, though, not performing for a while and now coming back, and the hunger about it, and specifically, I'm guessing, the material that the last 2.5 years or the last 4 years have provided for you?
Well, I work out my material in Los Angeles there's a couple of venues that I'm a regular at. So I go there and I work out the material until I feel like it's at a comfortable place to take it on the road. And then the thrill of it is getting out of Los Angeles, because sometimes you don't really know what the gauge is there. If you're only doing New York or LA, it's really nice to go into the heart of the country and get everybody else's response. So that's a thrill too, because I think it's good in Los Angeles. Let's see what Fort Lauderdale has to say.
So does this require bravery, though, when you think of it that way? Yes, Los Angeles applauds you and your liberal leanings. Yes, Los Angeles loves what you're representing, but will, in this time, middle America, you feel brave doing that, or you welcome the challenge of that because you believe you should be palatable across the aisle because comedy demands it?
Well, I mean, one would hope comedy demands it, but I'm not doing comedy clubs. I'm doing theater, so people who know who I am already are typically the ones buying the ticket to my show. So it's not a situation where I walk into a room full of people like, who the hell is this? So hopefully, I mean, and even if there are people that wonder who the hell is this, I welcome them, and I look forward to hopefully making them laugh.
Amin, are you familiar with the work that she did on Funny or Die, where she wasn't aware of very, very much pop culturally, and she would have to sort of they present someone to her famous, and she couldn't figure out how it is or who it is they were?
No.
I would interview a celebrity to try and figure out who they were.
But you would be famous. And so can you walk us through, I know it was a while ago, but can you sort of walk us through what it is the conceit was, and what was the most memorable of the awkward interactions?
Well, it was really funny because the producers they'd put together these pages of headshots of different celebrities, and they'd ask me who I recognized, and anybody I said no to, they would send an email to that person's agent and say, explain the show and see if the person wanted to come on. And oftentimes they did. And so they would show up, and I would say, please welcome this person. And a celebrity comes out, and then I sit down, and I would have to say, I mean, they were all so fun, but Kaylee Cuoco from
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Big Bang
Theory. The Priceline commercials.
Yes, sure.
Hold on.
She's wildly unimpressed by these people. That was part of the conceit.
It's not that I'm unimpressed. It's that I don't follow pop culture. I follow music and documentaries, and that's kind of what my interests are. And I miss a lot.
So let me ask you this. Now, obviously, everything is streaming. The ability to watch stuff without watching commercials is pretty easy. Mm-hmm. But what did you do before then? Like before that, did you never watch TV? You said
I did as a child. Okay. I did through the 70s, maybe early 80s, very early 80s.
Family Ties.
Family Ties?
Great show, Family Ties.
I have to say I was more a Good Times and Sanford and Son gal.
Not the same era.
Not the same. Well, no, I said 70s.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. And then I also dipped into like the Waltons from time to time. That's probably
pathetic.
Before your time.
No, it's pathetic. Your viewing choice there is pathetic. Yeah. Watching the Waltons, you've exposed yourself in front of America. That's terrible. You were doing fine with Waltons. Those are two very different Americas on your television that you were watching.
You sound like my brother. I used to watch the Waltons to drive him insane. But yeah, so that's what I did. I played guitar, I played soccer, I played in the woods. I don't know what to say.
Well, no, but the conceit, the reason I love the conceit for a lot of reasons, but how do you do that in 2026? Is it mentally healthier? Do you find that disconnecting from the silly sugar allows you to live a more balanced, stable, perspective-free life? Because then you don't have to actually pay attention to stupid stuff.
Yes, sir. And that's why I can't emphasize getting an Apple Watch enough. I cannot emphasize it enough.
To just measure where your heart rate is based on daily things that are causing you anxiety? Is that why you're doing a sponsorship for Apple Watch?
I would rather watch my heart rate on my Apple Watch than most pop culture. But I do accidentally take in spores.
Because your family is accidentally taking in sports.
Because I walk through the room and I go into the kitchen and get something to eat or drink. Yes.
January 14th, again, Fort Lauderdale, Parker Playhouse in Fort Lauderdale. It's a great theater. It really is. And she's kicking off her 2026 tour. If you want, tignation.com is where you go if you want full tour dates and if you want tickets as well. Thank you, Tig, for being on with us. You mentioned your podcast, Handsome. It's been interesting watching what's happening with comedy and podcast, stand-up comedy and podcast. You chose this route as a creative venture when you're careful about where it is you put your energies. Why? What is it that drew you to Handsome?
Well, I wanted to kind of push out even more of the noise and the news and the politics, everything that was going on. And I wanted to put together a group of comedians that I had met and very surfacely hung out with in the scene, who I enjoyed talking to. And that's where I came across the idea of doing this show with Fortune Feimster and Mae Martin. And every week we have a celebrity or public figure send us a question and we answer their question, and then they also answer their own questions. So like Sarah Paulson asks us, can you ever truly forgive anyone? And then, gosh, I won't tell you what Sarah Silverman asked us. But anyway, so yeah, it's a really fun show. And I just wanted to have lighthearted conversations and kind of push out all the noise once a week.
But what is the answer to your question? Can you ever forgive someone? Like, so you're saying aspirationally you want to go to the deepest possible places.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, some episodes there are real questions like, can you ever truly forgive anyone? And then some questions are what Sarah Silverman asked. Sarah Silverman asked.
You can't do that.
I really want
Tig,
that.
you can't do that. Tig, you can't do what you just did twice. You're talking around it while giving us the
what can I say on the
punchline.
show?
Anything you want. There are no rules here.
Okay, so Sarah asked us, how do you clean your...
Cut that!
Cut that! Okay, maybe not everything.
Tignation.com for full tour dates and tickets. Parker Playhouse, January 14th in Fort Lauderdale. Handsome is the podcast where you can find out how to clean your... Thank you, Tig. We appreciate it. Thank you. So the Dolphins just cleansed their by firing Mike McDaniel. We segue effortlessly into the next portion of our show.
The obvious reports are that this is somewhat Harbaugh related. His availability, that the Dolphins are clearly interested. They're not saying they're going to get him, but the Dolphins are clearly interested by this move.
I'll tell you right now, one of these days I'm going to launch Football Illuminati. Third eye open all the time on all sports, ladies and gentlemen, all the franchises. For now, there's just Basketball Illuminati. Comes out multiple times a week wherever you get podcasts, produced by Anthony Mace.
Thank you. No one was asking. The question I wanted to put in front of the group, though, because we've been waiting for this for a while, the Dolphins have had a lot of instability here. This coach was as fine as the last coach. Both of them 500 coaches. Very little patience for either of them because Stephen Ross has the perception that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's got a Brian Flores lawsuit on his lap. He hires the half-black Mike McDaniel to provide cover over the last 4 years. He was very good at offense. He will be a very good offensive coordinator for someone else. Everyone gets swept out to sea. Chris Grier, Mike McDaniel. Tua's hanging on collecting money, but he says it's dope. It'd be dope if he can get a fresh start somewhere else.
Arugula, please.
And so now everything starts over. And the thing that I wanted to ask you guys from yesterday, and I mean, I'm glad I have you here as sort of a front office examiner of culture making and how hard it is to actually make a culture. Like everyone talks about this, but being a leader who walks into a room and just takes charge of the Dolphins, gets the keys to the entire organization because his name is Harbaugh, and because, honestly, it is kind of crazy that at one point these two human beings from the same family played or coached against each other in a Super Bowl. This name is football royalty. It made $17 million a year last year. It had the rare instance earlier this week of being fired in a cutthroat business and the media reacting with genuine shock. Couldn't believe someone that successful in the cutthroat business of football could be fired. That guy's now available. He is among the most coveted leadership people ever made available at a time that a whole bunch of other teams want to get him as well. I think it's spectacularly stupid to be in the position of desperation where you think somebody for any amount of money can just come in here and fix this as if that's an easy thing with 25 years of failure and incompetence that you're managing up to because your owner hasn't been competent. The question I want to ask you is, referencing back to yesterday, when I look at the top 10 coaches in football and I ask everyone in our audience, what's the difference between number 1 and number 10? What do you think the Harbaugh advantage is 16 hours a day playing against Tomlin, who's also coaching 16 hours a day? What's it mean when it comes down to a field goal at the end? What's this man actually worth? Because I don't think there's much difference between whatever he is and whatever the 13th best coach in this sport is, whoever you think that is. But they're going to pay him like he's the best there's ever been, just because everyone's desperate. We're at a desperate leadership time, and I think the Dolphins are going to do the stupid thing of just giving all the money and power to one person because he fixes things from one day to the next optically, and Stephen Ross can go back to being a terrible owner who's given away all the power to Harbaugh. They gave it to Saban here once. They gave it to Parcells once. It doesn't really work. It's the same guy at the top, and none of it ends up working because you got to get a quarterback. You got to hit on the quarterback. They always get the quarterback wrong. Nobody comes with a quarterback. This guy doesn't come with a quarterback either.
I think so. I've been a long proponent of this across all sports. I actually had a conversation with my child about this, about the literal term church and state. Do you know what the separation of church and state is about? My child was like, yes, because I said, why? Why is there a separate church and state? My kid couldn't answer. I said, the reason why is because you don't want anyone to say, hey, this is the way it's going to be. Why? Because God says so. That's what the reason why we have separation of church and state in real life, right? In sports terms, separation of church and state is the front office and the coaching staff. Yes, you want them to be on the same page. You do not want them to be the same person because inherently there is a conflict there. One has to think about long-term building, long-term architecture. The other is focused about today. And if you give the guy who's got to be focused about today the power of the guy of tomorrow, he will make every decision about today, which in turn ends up ruining the flow of the thing. You need a yin and a yang in this. And so you're right. The Dolphins are going to probably do this. They're going to be aggressive, money, whatever it is, but the power is the big thing. But you do that and you put yourself in this situation where there is no separation between church and state, and where John Harbaugh will make decisions based on John Harbaugh, the coach's desires, not John Harbaugh, the architect.
You guys do realize the Dolphins just fired somebody that it can be argued is the best head coach they've had in the last 25 years and is responsible for the two most exciting Dolphin seasons of this century.
Yes.
And they're going to now just turn – look, the reporting is that they're going to look for a GM as well. But what you do if you're Dolphins and trying to be enticing, most enticing, because it's not an enticing job. It's not. What's enticing about it? You got like 4 players anybody would want.
And you're stuck with a quarterback who you can't cut because if you do, that's $99 million.
Well,
cap.
you can cut him. It doesn't matter. You don't have a quarterback and you're paying a quarterback a lot. It's a giant albatross. Only Denver survived it. They did it with Sean Payton. Denver survived that when they had it in Russell Wilson, and they got out from it as fast as they could. You cannot have – look, man, we spend so much time on the math and the measurements. You cannot have a disaster of value at the quarterback position without any value. Like – it wrecks the Browns, even though they have Myles Garrett. Deshaun Foster wrecks the Browns. There's no way to build it.
Deshaun Watson, that's a fine.
Deshaun Watson. You understand what I'm saying? It wrecks your franchise to need advantages within the salary cap and have it all tied up in someone who's not going to even play. Like, you got to get it to be Trevor Lawrence if you're going to give it $50 million.
And even that, like Trevor Lawrence, yeah, but like we could be a year and a half away from Trevor Lawrence failing. This is so
Harbaugh stops the noise one day to the next. From one day to the next, the noise stops for the offseason.
He takes care of a temporary reprieve from, in the same way that Mike McDaniel temporarily was like, oh, everyone's like, oh, we finally did it. It's like, but none of this, and this is why you don't pay a coach $50 million, because at some point, history shows you're going to want to get out from under this contract one way or another, regardless of whether there's a salary cap or not, which brings me, segue, to Trae Young. And Trae Young going to the Washington Wizards, and the seemingly change of heart went from Minnesota or Brooklyn to, no, I'll go to Washington.
One of the saddest reports ever before the trade, seeing him come out, just like across the bottom line, Trae Young says he wants, I mean, of course, that's probably just agents knowing the deal's coming, right? But it made me smile looking like who's ever requested to go to Washington?
I want to talk with Amin about what happened here just because I thought a 4-time All-Star just got sent to an outpost, and I'm not going to say it was confusing, but I assumed it's because he doesn't have a lot of other places that value him.
It was a financial decision for everybody, for the Wizards, for Trae Young, for everybody. So, originally, he wanted to go to Minnesota or Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn because it's in New York, Minnesota because it's a team that's on the cusp, right? And it was relayed that the mutual interest did not exist. And then he doubled back and said, actually, Washington, I don't mind Washington. Where Washington about 2 weeks ago was not on the table for them. I know now they're coming out and saying, long time Washington. No. This is all new. And it's all new because Trae Young is up for an extension. He's got $49.9 million due to him next season, but he can either opt out or opt in or extend right now and have some cost certainty to his life. Washington's the only place that's willing to do that. Now, the reason for that is Washington only has like 7 guys under contract next season, which means
it's for next summer, right?
They are so under the salary floor that they're going to be hampered in the things that they're going to be able to do. So having Trae Young's guaranteed money on the books actually helps them continue to run their team, number one. And number two, it's like they're 29th in attendance or something. It's like the worst that can happen is he's going to make us a little bit more exciting, a little bit more, kind of salacious in the market. And then number three, and this is huge, the Wizards have the second worst defense in the history of the NBA. If there was any team that could say, yeah, give us Trae Young, it doesn't really matter. Oh, he can't defend. Oh my God, he can't defend. Neither can we. So
can we.
Yeah, so bringing him in gives them a chance at improving their offense, and really there's no downside on the defensive end because they're already awful.
Well, you say there's no downside on the defensive end. Every time I look up, they're giving up 130 points. I don't know how they win a game. It's a slop fest, and Jordan Poole was sent there before this to go rot because Washington is now and has been for a long time an outpost where salaries just go. It's why C.J. McCollum's was the one.
Station.
Yeah, it's just – as a professional basketball franchise, they have gone from Bradley Beal and John Wall, and you can be exciting for one season, and that's the most successful they've had. Like the Wizards as a franchise have been an apocalypse even when they had Michael Jordan. That's always been a bad franchise.
A fun fact about the Wizards. Last time they made the conference finals, not the NBA finals, the conference finals, was when they won the championship in the 70s. Since that championship, they haven't exited the second round of the playoffs So that's almost 50 years now.
I'd like to examine, actually, if we want to look at historically dreadful franchises, the Washington Wizards
They're
are
up
in the
there.
conversation. And I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit stunned that I've been able to watch the career of Trae Young go from Oklahoma. Oh, that revolutionizes the game, being able to shoot from out there. Oh, look, that could win at Madison Square Garden, and take an Atlanta team further than a Washington team has gone in the last 50 years. To have that have so little value that he has to sadly just go to Washington, where Chris Middleton is, where you just go as a dinosaur to collect paychecks because they're not playing the same professional basketball everyone else is.
I wouldn't say that's what they're doing recently. Maybe in the past, yes. Right now, the Wizards over the last 18 months or so, they're in a cycle of just give us stores of value, right? So we traded Bradley Beal for Chris Paul. We don't want Chris Paul. He's just a store of value. So Chris Paul turns into Jordan Poole. All right, Jordan Poole's young and exciting. Maybe he could be the guy. As soon as they figure out he's not the guy, he becomes what? A trade for C.J. McCollum, who is a store of value. Same thing. Hey, we'll sign Kyle Kuzma. Not our guy. Bring him in for Chris Middleton. Just a store of value. All they're doing is seeing if we can acquire assets and then taking whatever guy that's a name in that thing and saying, look, you're not actually going to be here that long.
If I had said to you, though, Amin, honestly, when Trae Young is bowing in Madison Square Garden, wrecking the Knicks seasons before they became what they've been recently become, if I told you that can be had for C.J. McCollum in a couple of years, you would have thought that descent would have been that precipitous?
I don't think it was that much of a descent. That's the difference. For me, it started on draft night. I was on ESPN on the draft coverage, and I was telling everybody, hey, this is a no-brainer. There's one guy in this draft who is MVP of a league of men. It's Luka Doncic. He should go number one, no questions asked. So he doesn't go one. He doesn't go two. Atlanta has three. They trade down to get an extra pick that they use on Cam Reddish, I think. And I said, this is going to be a bad trade, but the worst part is Trae Young's name is always going to be connected to this dude, and that's not his fault. He's a good player, Trae Young. He's not Luka Doncic. That guy's a generational talent. And for 2 or 3 years, people in Atlanta really, really held on to that, including some people in Trae Young's camp. They really took offense to me saying that. I'm not saying he's not a great player. I'm saying he's not that. That thing is something else that we've never seen before. And so as Trae Young's career progressed, the other thing I remember, I talked to Fran Fraschilla about this. Everyone was trying to compare him to Steph Curry because he's small and he shoots threes. But me and Fran were well, first of all, Steph is not that small. Steph is he's 6'3", and while he was skinny in college, he had a frame that could put on weight as
no one's saying Steph worst defender in the league. No one says that.
No, Trae Young is small and not quick and not athletic, right? And on top of that, the shot selection, because of the Steph Curry comparison,
and inefficient,
out of whack. If Fran was talking about this, he said he should have focused on being a point guard who can shoot, as opposed to Steph Curry who can also pass better, right? And because of that, it kind of tweaked out his shot profile, and that made for an offense that's very difficult to be sustainable and consistent.
We talked about it yesterday when the idea of Trae Young came up, which is this guy is a great passer.
Yes.
And he should have been primarily focused on that. And when the Hawks went on their run, yes, we remember the big moments, but the best games that they played were when he was getting everybody else involved, when Kevin Huerter was going off. And now Washington seemingly is following that Oklahoma City model. This is the way to rebuild. It's no longer just accumulating picks. It's accumulating depressed assets that might cost a lot of money because, hey, at the next deadline, you can flip that for somebody else. Or, hey, next year, if Giannis is still somehow in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform and they're desperate to try to keep him and Trae Young is an expiring contract, maybe they get desperate and they give you some more. Having those players on top of the picks is clearly the way to build this thing, and this is really the first team we've seen following that exact model that Oklahoma City had, or at least trying to.
Well, you know why? The president of basketball operations, Michael Winger, came from Oklahoma City. Will Dawkins, the general manager, came from Oklahoma City. So these guys, they know the sauce.
It's like the team's trying to do the Rays thing.
But yes, exactly. But going back to Trae Young, this is the part that this is the weird thing about the NBA. You could say tell guys or say things about guys and make comments that people will get offended, and you realize years later, that actually would have been a better thing. I've told the story before about Aaron Aflalo in his pre-draft. We asking him, like, who do you compare yourself to? And he said Kobe Bryant. And we're like, well, okay, everyone wants to be like the best player in the league, but like, no, but who realistically you're like? He's like, Kobe Bryant. And we're like, buddy, you're not Kobe Bryant. But I'll tell you what you can be. You can be a better Raja Bell because you're bigger than Raja, you're more athletic than Raja, and your starting point as a shooter is more advanced than Raja's was when he came in the league. And Aaron Aflalo took such great offense because in his mind, we were calling him a quote-unquote scrub, even though Raja Bell is an all-defensive team player, starter on a team that won 60 games, all these things, right? So circle back to Trae Young, I said, he could be a better Mike Conley. And it's just like, oh, how dare you? But it's like, now you think about it, it's like, if
Mike Conley's great.
But if you
great
think you're
career.
Steph Curry and someone says you're Mike Conley, sounds like an insult.
And everybody's been telling you you're Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Like, because you were the next guy who physically looked like that playing in college basketball.
But the larger point I would make to everyone listening is whatever you think the Trae Young career arc was going to be, and wherever it is he overachieved beyond expectations, 4 All-Stars, 25 and 10, and again, conference semifinals, Madison Square Garden, villain for a moment. What half a season, people were wondering what that could be for half a season, and it ends up at the documentary-worthy way station that is the Washington Wizards, where their best team is the one that has guns in the locker room. Their best team is Gilbert Arenas, and everything that's happened since then is just spectacular clown show where now they get to reinvent themselves or try to with the OKC model of it doesn't matter who our players are. The only thing we need is future assets and locked prices on future assets.
To be fair, Beal and Wall was the best team they've had in the last 50 years, not Gilbert Arenas and friends. But the other part of that is, Dan, that you talk about that. You asked me, and I said I never was that high. I thought that was out kicking their coverage in terms of that example. And then they came back the next year, and they had a slow start. And I'll never forget this. Trae Young said something to the extent of like, oh, we're kind of bored with the regular season. And I said, how dare you? You went to the conference finals, and you're bored with the regular season now? I said, look at those guys in Golden State. They just did this thing like for 5 years in a row, and you didn't even taste what they tasted, and you're bored of the regular season. And like those are the things that were like, yo, they didn't manage their success properly, and I think that hurt them. The other part of this is, and the reason why, even though I think they should have moved off him earlier and they would have got more, they move off him now. Do you know why they're moving off of him now? Why it finally became like, hey, we don't need this guy anymore? It's because of your boy Adam McKay's guy.
Oh, that's right.
Jalen Johnson.
Yeah,
He's
Jalen. My boy Adam McKay.
He called it.
Amin is still referencing that Adam. Okay, we've got to find. Chris,
Adam.
you got to find the video of Amin doing a pilot show with a climate scientist as Adam McKay was breaking down basketball. Let's find that, please, because Amin keeps referencing it, and it can't be lost tapes anymore. In order to close some loops here today, can you please get me, Jeremy, the other lyrics to the Rubber Tree Plant song that Greg Cote was singing earlier? I want to hear how old and ancient a song this is and how it is that I asked you for something that was bigger and bigger and bigger, and you gave me a Rubber Tree Plant song.
Next time you're found with your chin on the ground, there are a lot to be learned there. So look around. Just what makes that little old ant think he'll move that rubber tree plant? Anyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but he's got high hopes. He's got high hopes. He's got high apple pie in the sky hopes. So anytime you're getting low, instead of letting go, just remember that ant. Oops, there goes another rubber tree plant.
Oops, there goes another rubber tree plant.
Apple pie in the sky.
Someone's high apple pie in the sky for sure when they wrote that.
When I asked you guys to get a moment that meant the Hurricanes playing in the biggest game in 20 years, the Dolphins have fired their coach. Another season to nowhere ends with another nowhere man being sent off to someplace else.
Nowhere, man.
I mean, I made a Harbaugh song. You want that instead?
Yes,
I just did it.
actually,
They have
yes.
high hopes.
Yes,
man.
I'd like a Harbaugh song instead. Yes, please.
Pay $50 million and you'll be done. Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin. Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin. Maybe 100 mil just for fun. Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin. Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin. Dan says you're at the end of your life, so pay him before it's done. 150 mil could be right. Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin. 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 Hire Harbaugh as a
Goes on forever.
Dolphin. Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin. Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin. Hire Harbaugh as
Wait for
a
it.
Dolphin. Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin. Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin.
Okay, all right, there is an end to it. I wanted him to just to keep going for the next minute and a half, just repeating it over and over. Jeremy, do the people at the Heat and the Marlins know what you do on the side? Are they?
You're just asking him this on air. No problem. Just
Yeah? Why?
This particular part of your side hustle?
Like the songs?
Yes.
I don't know if the athletes do. I sure hope they don't.
Why do you ask?
I don't. I just wonder how that would impact how I could do my job as serious, courtside reporter, or what do they call it?
I'm a man who wears many hats.
Yeah.
And I'm capable of doing it all.
Do you have like one of those hat stands?
I don't understand your
I
question.
put the hats on my Emmys.
I don't understand your question. Why are you asking him whether or not people who employ him in the profession of sports know that he's on a giant sports show?
Well, it's not about being on the show. No, I'm not talking about being on the show. I'm talking about
It's probably the Green Day impressions that
That's
he's
what I'm
wondering
talking about. Yeah.
fake pregame show.
All right. So
Bigger.
Bigger. It needed to be bigger than that.
We're petering out here.
Brogdon.
Does anyone else think this is silly with the Harbaugh thing? No.
Yes.
It's silly.
I said
right?
Everything's
Keith
silly.
McDaniel.
You wanted to pay him $50 million.
I already miss McDaniel's offense.
I miss his glasses.
Pay him everything, give him all the power so he can just be named Harbaugh.
Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin. Hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin.
Happy New Year, everybody. 2026 is already getting off to an incredible start because you want to know how I rang in the new year? It was with a bunch of friends in a Dallas hotel lobby bar ordering a bunch of Miller Lites because that's how you do it. That's how you make special memories. Miller Lite has been by my side at many special football memories this year, and hopefully we get to write a few more memories with Miller Lite. Some of my most legendary moments have started that exact same way. A buddy's house, a lobby bar, a game, no big plan. And then you crack open a Miller Lite, you take a sip, and you look around, and you immediately recognize that you made the right call. You're locked into the game, the conversation, the moment, not thinking about what you're drinking. Miller Lite just fits. Clean finish, refreshing, brewed for taste with simple ingredients like malted barley, and at 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, it never weighs you down. Legendary moments start with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
That's right. It's Thursday Thunder.
That's right.
And it's presented by DraftKings. DraftKings. The crown is yours. Juju, what do we got?
Oh, man, we got the biggest of the big one tonight. You feel me? And we got Scooby snacks all across the board. Usually, just like I bet Sunday, the Pittsburgh Steelers, every wide receiver over because it was like 5 yards each. Whew. That's how I usually go with these Ole Miss guys. But they playing that vaunted Miami defense, so I got to narrow it down tonight. First leg, I'm going with Harrison Wallace III, not the fourth, you feel me? For over 5 catches, man. 5 catches. He gonna have to. There's gonna be a lot going on out there. You dig? Second leg, I'm sticking with them boys. Dejon Stribling, a.k.a. the Scribbler. I'm going with my boy for over 4 catches tonight. You got to dig him. the scribbler. I see you, brother. Next leg, I'm going with Keelan Marion from the U. You dig it? I'm going with my boy to have 3 receptions tonight. And the last leg, Big Fletch. You know we need Big Fletch tonight to tote that ball, to tote that rock. So I'm going with him for over 16 carries tonight. And the Fiesta Bowl. Jump in, man.
Can you guys help me figure out, before we get to the rest of what it is we're doing with Juju here, including 2 top 5 lists, I want to simply be on for the rest of the day today until after the game. But no one wants to do it with me, and I feel like I'm just going to do a stream. I'm going to do a live cast tonight just by myself on the internet because none of you want to do it with me. That I'm just going to be alone at a microphone watching the game, and no one else here wants to participate. I think our audience would want it. I think our audience would really enjoy spending that time with us, but no one here wants to do it with me.
Juju, back me up on this. Is this another Jake Paul fight situation? We're like, this is a great idea, and then when are y'all doing it? Where's the wait? Man, I thought you were doing this.
Exactly. Don't get me started on the Jay Potter event, because that boy, y'all know me, I'm courtside shorty, so I'm used to a certain amount of, playerism with my tickets. That boy danced at us in the back corner next to the bathroom. Boy, I'm like,
wait a minute.
no wonder he ain't come.
Juju, I'm going to tell you right now, this is
Hold
what
on
I
a second.
suspect. I suspect the tickets would have been a lot better had Dan Le Batard been there. Once they figured out,
Wait a minute.
Dan.
Wait a minute. Juju, you think I put you in a back row? The look on Chris Cote's face right now is he was deeply mortified by the idea that we were offered the best of tickets, and then all of a sudden I don't go and they don't become the best of tickets anymore.
They was trying to see. They was not just standing there to stand there. They was standing there because they couldn't see from our seats. I stayed an extra day in Miami for this. I could have went home to my boo.
No one told me this. I thought you guys were going to be making stuff from that. Did you make anything?
We did. We made a ton of stuff.
Thanks for watching, Dan.
Yeah.
Where
You
was
see
it?
that spaghetti?
Juju, glass half full. We never would have met Tank had we sat anywhere else.
Hey, we deserved it.
What are your top 5 lists, Juju? What do you have for us today?
Well, first, before I get to the top 5 list, I want to say, y'all tried to play me earlier on my Mike McDaniel glasses situation, but I serve an on-time God. You dig? I don't know about y'all. So, them glasses goofy as hell, and he got his goofy ass fired 2 seconds later. Salute. And as a fix, listeners, if the first listener this weekend that can show me that you are subscribed to @DLS Hoops and our DLS Hoops Substack, I'm going to send you this brand new Never Open Before Miami Mike shirt to you in the mail to commemorate my boy getting the hell out of town. That's why I dressed for the occasion.
You did. You got that put together quickly. You got that. You got all your Dolphin gear ready. Top 5 list. We got a couple of them today. Very fortunate. What did we do to deserve two top 5 lists today?
I had one prepared, but then the conversation broke off, and I was like, okay, let's get to this one as well. Top 5 shows to rewatch. You dig? And I'm not talking about your Offices, Always Sunny, Martin, those comedies. We can play those all day, but just top 5 like dramas to rewatch. OLI, Top Boy. You dig me?
The British one?
Isn't it?
I can't deal with the accents, man. I tried. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, the same way I felt about Pluribus. Whoa, P.U. I'm glad all y'all folks got to see it go nowhere. Number 5, Shameless.
I've never watched
I was watching it last night, actually.
I caught one episode by accident. I was like, this show's amazing. What is this? And it was Shameless, but I've never watched it.
Exactly. Number 4, The Wire.
There's 3 better
Always
than that.
good to watch that. You did. Come on, man. Number 3, Fargo.
Great show because every season is self-contained.
But which
they're also
season?
threaded.
Like it's not. It was 4 wasn't as good as the first 3, was it?
Chris Rock?
I like the Chris Rock season. I like every
the
season
Chris
of
Rock
Fargo. Fargo's
me
always
too.
good.
Me 3. Check any of the seasons out. Like Amin said, none of the seasons got nothing to do with the other one. Like True Detective. Should have made my list. Just forgot all about that one. Number 2, Breaking Bad.
never seen not 1 second.
Oh, you got to. It's really good. You have to.
I only watched the last episode.
No.
What?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I remember I had never watched the series, and it was like the biggest thing. And I'm like, I knew the show was. I'm like, you know what? Let me check this out.
I know 2 scenes from the entire show.
No.
One is you can't keep getting away with this because it's a meme, and the other one is
I thought a good idea for a podcast would be watching series, the first episode and last of a series, and then just trying to dissect the series just by the first and last.
What would you call it?
First and last.
There you go.
You've
A
never
meme for as
seen
hard as you go.
Breaking Bad.
Right.
Not even a second. You know
That's
what?
insane.
Dude, you know why? Because it was out at
Yeah.
the same time as The Wire, and all these white people didn't want to watch The Wire. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, this guy sells drugs. This is so fun." I'm like, "Oh, I see how it is." So then I turned into like a principal thing.
So you basically turned into Jason Whitlock. Is what you're saying?
Take that back.
The magic crate. So
Take
you
that
missed the
back.
magic crate now.
You take that
How y'all
back,
feel about
Roy
Mike
Bellamy.
McDaniels?
Then watch Breaking Bad, goddammit.
How dare you? Respect
That's the
yourself.
ultimate. Number 1,
Family Ties.
Game of Thrones. Come on, man.
That's a hot take.
You're
Hodor.
gonna get sad though,
With
man.
a Starbucks cup in the eighth.
feels like
in
a
the, in
really hot
season
take.
8, and in season 8, where there's a Starbucks cup on the set in one of the scenes. That's come on, Juju.
We dive
loved
into
it.
this, by
I
the
need
way,
it.
Juju, on Mystery Crate this week. But where Chris said he watched the last episode of Breaking Bad without having seen the rest of the series, I actually, while I was at work at Channel 7 back in the day when the last episode was airing of Game of Thrones, I live tweeted the last episode without having watched any of the series nor watching the episode. That's how many people were tweeting about it on the timeline at that time. I was just reacting to the reactions.
It was a thing, but damn, Juju. Like the first 4 seasons of that show are probably the 4 best seasons of television anywhere. But
Yeah.
man, them last 2 or 3, whew, I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, they kept me glued. I was still glued. The same way y'all say I like the pluribus, I still mess with the Game of Thrones in them. But
What is the? I'm only through 2 episodes of Pluribus, so I haven't gotten to the rest of it.
You're
yet.
gonna love it, Dan.
I'm gonna love it, but Juju
bruh.
is telling me to just stop.
I'm telling you, bro, your life too important, bit, bro. You got $1 million deals to sign. You got folks to employ. You got meetings to organize.
The reason I
Boy,
want to watch it though is because Vince Gilligan, who made Breaking Bad, who made
Better Call Saul.
yeah, Better Call Saul. Those are 2 of the
Yeah.
best television shows I've ever seen. So I'm assuming that this one's going to be good too.
Not a second.
Yeah, well, I would compare this to this. Michael Jordan is the best basketball player you've ever saw. I don't think you want to watch him coach the Little League team. It's still boring. So salute to the GOAT, salute to Vince Gilligan, but he missed with the pluribus. We got to be able to be honest with these folks, our heroes. You missed with pluribus, in my opinion.
All right. Did Vince Gillian miss with Pluribus in
Billy
your
Gillian.
opinion at Le Batard Show? Can we? What's the other top 5 list you got?
The other top 5 list is just stuff I forgot to say this week. The lights come on, and I started looking at folks.
I feel like that's a
damn.
list you could do every week.
All right. So you forgot to
bruh.
say, so you need to. You
Might be
forgot-
looking at me. I'd be like, oh, no, never mind.
Okay. So what are the 5 things you forgot to say this week?
All right, OLI. You know how good of a football player you have to be to make the world just not even care about you trying to kill a man with a helmet?
Everybody forgot about
Myles
Myles
Garrett?
Garrett. Yeah, tried to kill. There's a weird
He had it coming.
controversy, and but
He deserved it.
But so you really think that you think Rudolph called him the N-word?
I believe Myles Garrett.
Oh, I can believe it. Now, number 5, y'all boys need to get some WD-40 on them carousels when y'all be riding them or something, bro.
Thank you. You're so right about that. Everybody.
Yours was going backwards.
I was
and forward.
trying. I was in the chariot. Bleep off. I showed enthusiasm. Late in my career, I showed enthusiasm for the stupid coaching carousel. And while Roy just sat there grinning, not doing much of anything until I reprimanded him.
My thigh still hurt, man. What are you talking about?
I won't back you up anymore, Roy, because you.
I
called me
apologize.
the-
I apologize. I went too far. I'm sorry.
No.
Number 4, the Oklahoma City Thunder lost to the Hornets.
By 30 at home. By 30 at home.
Dan texted me.
I did ask him, and I'm like, why? Explain
was
this.
distraught.
Explain
He
it.
was like-
Explain this to me. Please explain
He
it.
was
Go ahead.
distraught.
Go ahead. Explain it. Go ahead and hurry up and explain it.
No, let him finish his list.
Number 2, I called Snoop Dogg a hero. I forgot about what he been doing in the politic world. My fault.
You forgot, Juju?
I ain't gonna lie. Look, I was thinking about a career path. I'm like, dang, I like to be able to do sports and music. That's right up my alley. I forgot about all the other stuff. Hand out of bounds on me.
Juju, that's
Sorry,
a lot
guys.
of stuff you forgot, Juju.
It was recent.
Very
What happened in the
recent.
last year, man?
It's on me, coach. Sorry about that. Number 2, Zaslow trying to steal that brother job. What the hell was that?
That's right. Clean as day. That's right.
And got a nerve to still be like, I'm going to text him and see how he's doing. Do not look out there. Y'all try to steal my job. Don't text my phone, man. Leave me alone, bro. Salute his ass, though. Judge ass. And number 1 thing I forgot to say this week, man. We all forgot to say this. Congratulations to Chris Whittingham, man.
Oh, yeah.
My boy got engaged.
Yes.
Come on,
Look
bruh.
at that. Thank you for, yes. We've got to get some fancy lad in here. Let's go. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Chris Whittingham is a fancy lad.
Okay, question. Does she know that he uses his oven as a clock?
I mean, I would love to ask her a series of game show questions.
We have to interview her.
We have to interview her.
I cannot wait to see and watch how starched this wedding is.
We have to have her on the show, and we just have to, you know what? We do true or false, and we come up with a bunch of things about
Yes.
Chris. Some of them are true, some of them are false, and she has to figure out what's real and what's not.
That's a good game show.
That's
Yes,
a great
congratulations to the fancy lad. Always happy. He is moving up in the world. As soon as he leaves here, he finds love.
I've told you, Dan, many a time, one of the weirdest experiences of my life is walking around my house, and my dad likes to watch a lot of soccer on his iPad, like either highlights or full games, whatever. And I'll be like doing something, I'm like, why does that sound familiar? And I realize my father is watching a game that Chris Whittingham is
He's
calling.
a giant voice.
It's crazy.
He's calling the biggest games.
He doesn't watch any Heat games on his iPad?
He's very young, and he's arrived at the top of the world's sport, and the World Cup is coming. It's great to watch all of it. Happy for Whittingham. Before we get to the polls here, Juju, do you have any Super Bowl predictions for us? Do you have any predictions in general?
I got the predictions, bruh. Unfortunately, my Bills, man. Everybody been saying it all week. Oh, it's time for Josh Allen. Like, bruh, our run defense is trash, man. I don't have too many high hopes for us in the Super Bowl era.
No rubber
this
tree
year.
plans?
No rubber tree
in the
plant,
sky?
man. Not at all. But I definitely think we should hire Harbaugh as a Dolphin. Neither here nor there. But I think the Super Bowl this year will be the L.A. Rams versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm with you, Juju. I like it.
Wait a minute. So Juju's got the Rams winning 3 road games? You got them winning.
I do.
You got them winning 3 road games to get
not
to
as
the Super Bowl.
shocking as
They got Devontae Adams back this week.
That's
they
what
forgot
you
about
took away
that
from
red
that?
zone.
Instead of the Jags?
Jags are
Jags in
sneaky
the
hot
Super
right now,
Bowl.
guys.
I don't care how sneaky
I
they
would
are.
be so happy to see that.
Jags in the Super Bowl?
Nobody
I like
It's
it.
an emotional hedge from Juju right there. That's what he's doing.
That's
All right, I'm
Eddie
doing the
Blay.
thing.
Anyway.
polls at Le Batard Show, Juju.
Can you write as fast as someone speaks for 20 minutes? 91% of the audience says no, they can't.
Greg Cote alleged that he could keep notes for 20 minutes with somebody because he writes so fast. Your father's delusional, Chris. Like
Yep.
he's okay.
Do reporters in the locker room still use pens? 54% of the audience says no, they don't.
They do.
Some of them.
They do.
Older
a lot
ones.
of them
Older
do.
ones.
The older ones.
Got the reporter pad and everything.
The pad and everything.
But they
yeah.
record it, and then I look at the pad, and it's just like a word to pretend like they are writing something down when a player says
No,
something
you got to get
interesting.
that right. You got to get those quotes have to be accurate. People
Yeah,
don't.
that's why they record it. No, none of them are writing the quotes down the way that Greg Cote is saying
But
he does.
they're writing.
or he's
they're
misquoting
writing
everybody.
thoughts down.
Yeah,
They're recording, but they're
you
writing.
can't read them.
You can't read.
Not one of them.
What else you got?
Also, earlier this week, I didn't put this on the poll because I didn't want to find out if the answer was yes on the poll. But can you still say peg leg? I heard it. I just didn't put it up. I didn't want to be the
You
on
could
the
say
wrong end of
peg
history.
leg.
I want it up on the poll.
I am offended.
It's a
Arr.
I want to live dangerously. It's not just. Wait a minute. It's not just pirates who have prosthetics. Like I know.
Highly
They just have peg legs. That's all.
No, a peg leg is not any prosthetic. It's a specific. It's a peg.
You
as
walk
a
like
leg.
this.
No, but it's
a leg that's a
no.
peg.
Look, the question being asked is not, can you still reference that a pirate has a peg leg? The question is whether or not you can refer to a prosthetic leg as a peg leg, and you guys just made it a pirate because you want to make jokes about a disability, and it's okay.
Walk the plank.
See, this is the thing. It's fine to make fun of a pirate's disability.
1,000 doubloons.
You can go after the eye patch as well. It's a pirate. You can make fun of all.
Shiver me timber.
X marks the spot.
Davy Jones locker.
Paul Skeens.
Does Ed Orgeron look like that woman that your lesbian aunt has been bringing to Thanksgiving for the last few years? 97% of the audience say
Who
yes.
said that one, man?
It's actually me.
Jeremy did. I'm sorry that I sounded so disappointed that he got
You
one
were
funny.
so upset that I got one right.
Thought he was an ally.
Can you be shocked without being surprised? 53% of the audience says yes. A guy who calls an airplane a bird, douche or no douche. 82% of the audience says douche.
Oh, put this
And
on
the
the poll, please. Juju, do me a favor, because I meant to call Mike Ryan out on this earlier in the show. He comes on the show, and this is the reason that everyone hates Miami and will hate Miami tonight.
I'm gonna say why everyone hates my.
Him saying that in the analysis of the vibes around the Miami football team, that Miami's dialed and not saying the in. That Miami, he just said Miami's dialed, not Miami's dialed in. Douche or no douche? Guy who says Miami's dialed instead of dialed in because he's too busy to use the in there and he has to be cool with the dialed. That's why people hate Miami, right there.
Last poll. Is Family Ties as good as a rewatch as The Sopranos?
Better come back 100%.
78% of the audience says no, it is not.
Y'all are
and those are your polls.
children.
Dan, just to clarify, no Edward Cabrera talk?
Can you please play for me Hawk's old pirate song that just mentioned a bunch of different pirates?
Blackbeard, Dale Barra, John McKay, Bill Day, Walk the Plank, Eye Patch, Vince DiMaggio, Bill Madlock, Jim Fregosi, Connie Mack, Willie Stargell, Lee Mazzilli, Lloyd McClendon, Sixto Lescano. Scurvy, Buried Treasure, Raymond James Stadium, Testaverde, Keyshawn Johnson, Ken Obergfell, Ed Ott, Dave Parker, Leroy Selman, Chum Bucket, Mike Allstott, Kent Colby, Richie Zisbrick, Russell, and John Gruden. We are scared of pirates. They are always scary and they're never caring.
Chris, do me the favor. I know you're fading this out. I just want to keep talking. So you guys can just go. And I'm just going to keep going here for a while.
Lunch is here. I'll see you later.
You can just put it on YouTube, and I'm going to see I'm going to see at some point here, I'm going to pop up on YouTube over the course of the next 12 hours and just start droning into a drink how sad I am that I started a media company that everyone wants to go eat instead of work. I'm going to explain to people how sad it makes me that at this great time in University of Miami history, as the Dolphins fire their coach and football matters more than it ever has, I've got a whole bunch of media people who don't actually want to do their job.
I'll hang out with you, Dan. You want me to do it?
Juju, would you like to hang out with me? If I put together a guerrilla live stream tonight where we're just screwing around watching the game, I have not been able to get anybody to hang out with me. Nobody wants to work. I'm a little bit surprised, Juju. I'm surprised and mortified that at this time in Miami history, when we've been talking football for 20 years, everyone's got something better to do other than just to pop up on YouTube and entertain our audience by watching the game with us. Like, who can we get together? Can you help me? Can you, Jeremy, and a couple of others help me make something this evening that isn't quite as lonely as I imagine it's being, because they left while I was talking about this, and I've been waiting for this game for 20 years, and you guys haven't met the moment with bigger.
Yeah, I'm there. You can count me in. No matter what. Thursday night football is about the U tonight. So I will be there. I would love to be right by you whenever they slay this dragon tonight.
Should probably get Damashek, right? He'll talk.
No, I don't.
No.
I can't make it.
No,
but
I
I'm sure he can do it.
No.